Thank you for joining us for another episode of PYP Boxing. We have a special episode. We have two professional boxers here. We have Ramon Dinamita Cardenas from San Antonio, and we have El Huracán Noyola, Esteban Noyola from Houston, Texas. Dinamita, how have you been, man? How's life been treating you since that amazing knockout, man?
Good, brother. Just same old, man. I mean, one fight. Uh, um, I think you can win one fight, man. But until you retire, your career's not done. You gotta keep training and stuff. So that's the way I see
That's
things, man. You
that's
gotta
right,
keep
man.
going.
Keep on working. It's just another
Hey,
fight.
hey, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, right?
Exactly, brother. Exactly, man.
Thank- Esteban, ¿cómo estás? Apenas acabaste con el campamento de Foster y
Sí.
también ahorita le estás ayudando a Regis y también tienes una pelea usted también, estás trabaja y trabaja y trabaja, de campamento a campamento y luego el campamento tuyo. ¿Cómo va el campamento tuyo primero y cómo va Regis?
Pues pesado igual, entrenando duro para que la pelea sea fácil. Tengo pelea el 9 de diciembre aquí en Conroe, Texas. A ver si el que guste ir ahí lo esperamos. Y pues sí, he estado entrenando unos días ahí con Regis. Ahí su coach de condicionamiento también me está ayudando a mí. Entonces son entrenamientos bien pesados, pero pues ayuda mucho.
Ok, no, está bueno, qué bueno. ¿Y Regis cómo se mira? ¿Se mira fuerte Regis?
Sí, está fuerte.
También Foster le está ayudando. Entró Foster a ayudarle ya.
No, ahorita Foster no ha ido al gimnasio, no lo he visto.
Ok, ok, voy a comenzar con Dinamita aquí. Dinamita, basically we have Regis versus Haney here.
Yeah.
Now what we have a question for you. Look, everybody's
What's up?
saying that Regis has been training for about 3 full months. Is it a
Yeah.
thing? Is it true that is there something on overtraining? Can you overtrain? Do you think he's overtraining?
Um, it's because it's hard, man. It's a difficult like how would you say it? There's a fine line, right? But I personally feel like I don't think he's overtraining because they're not dumb. Like down there in Houston, man, at the Main Street Gym, bro. The trainer's not. He's not an idiot. Those guys know what they're doing with their guy, man. So obviously they're not gonna overwork him. They're probably gonna just work on, let's say, technique, work on different little game plans of working on how to cut the ring off and stuff like that with Devin Haney. But I don't think he's gonna overtrain for this fight. I think he's gonna look possibly um, really good. I think he's gonna look good. So, like I told you, it's
Okay.
just all the fine line. It's a fine line.
Okay. We are going to ask for your the last question here in about we're only going to have 5 questions. The last one will be your
Yeah.
prediction, okay? So don't give it to us yet.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
we're going to
Okay.
go ahead and then we're going to go ahead with Esteban, pues tú estás trabajando con él. Eso es cierto lo que la gente dice. O sea, mucha gente como yo y David que estamos en YouTube no somos profesionales, ustedes dos son profesionales, ¿verdad? Por eso y gracias, el honor para acompañarlos, pero es cierto lo que dice la gente como yo y David, que estamos aquí, es cierto que se puede ser overtrained o es algo que no es cierto, y lo está haciendo Regis, ¿es he overtraining?
Mira, el overtraining sí, a mí no me ha pasado a mi expectativa, pero mi coach, José Cabrera, él me ha dicho que le ha tocado peleadores que han overtraining y sí se cansan, como que se queman de más, es mucho el ejercicio que hacen, que ya cuando le toca la pelea, ya es muy pesado para ellos. Entonces, ahorita Regis ya lleva tiempo entrenando, pero no ha entrenado así duro todo el tiempo, porque como dice el otro muchacho, ahí los de Main Street saben. Entonces, ha estado entrenando, pero técnica, calmado, ha hecho sparring, pero no tan pesado. Ahorita que ya está en campamento, sí ya está dándole duro.
Okay, gracias. David, pues you heard from Dinamita. Dinamita says they're not idiots over the man, and Dinamita's a pro who knows everybody around Texas, so he says they're not dumb. They're pacing themselves. Noyola says he really doesn't know about it, but they're pacing themselves. What do you think? Is there such thing as overtraining or not? And
No,
is he overtraining, in your opinion?
it's hard to tell. You won't know until fight night, man. But Yeah, like I concede to the pros. I think they're right. Like the guys that are in charge of his camp, they're not gonna allow that to happen, or they're gonna try to avoid that. But it, like Dinamita said, man, it's a fine line, right? And you also got to think, Regis is what, 30? He's in his 30s. He's not a spring chicken, man. He's 34. So obviously, if they're doing it right, the 3 months shouldn't be a factor.
Okay, okay. Dinamita, question for you, man. Now, obviously, again, YouTubers, people on TV, whatever,
Yeah,
they say, hey, Regis looked bad in his last fight, right?
yeah.
And Haney's coming in 10 and 0, 10 and 0 in world title. So he's coming in with momentum. Is momentum a factor? Does that really come about? Or is this like, I mean, is that a thing? And is that momentum, his 10 wins in a row in world title, is it going to have any effect in this fight?
Um, I don't know, man. I mean, because the way I see it, even in situations like that, when you get to that elite level, bro, like when you get to that elite level where they're at, I don't necessarily think that one guy should have momentum or one guy, you know, I don't think that. I think that when you get to that elite level, like it don't really matter because they'll
Yeah,
fight up to that level. Those guys are used to fighting up to that level, and those guys are used to being on that stage. If that makes sense.
yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily uh like well, Devin Haney's been 10-0, and Regis Prograis has been, I don't know, let's say 10-1. But
Mhm.
I don't think so, man. I don't think that
Okay.
has anything to do with it.
Viene de 10 peleas de títulos mundiales agilados ganados. So viene como muy confiado, güey,
Sí, sí,
¿verdad?
sí.
Viene bien confiado. Dicen que Regis se miró mal, güey. ¿Eso puede ser una diferencia en la pelea o no, güey?
Yo creo que no. Yo creo que, o sea, sí le puede ayudar mucho a Haney esa confianza que tiene.
Porque son 10 mundiales, sí.
Claro, en cierto aspecto va con confianza, ¿sabes?
Sí,
O como dice el otro muchacho, ya en esos niveles ya no, ya tiene que, ellos tienen su estrategia, tienen su plan, tienen todo listo para llegar a la pelea fuerte, ¿sabes?
Sí.
o sea, te puede afectar cuando vas como a 10-0, 15-0 en ese nivel, pues ya cuando estás
No, sí, ya la
en
mentalidad
esa, sí,
es
está
diferente.
bien. Ok, no, gracias a ustedes. David, momentum, do you believe in momentum? Is momentum in Haney's favor?
I think there's definitely there can be such a thing, but ultimately, man, it doesn't matter because on any given night, when you got two talented fighters, it's about who's more ready that night, right? If they were to fight 10 different nights, you might have 10 different outcomes. So it just really depends on who's more ready on that in that moment. There are so many factors that go on in a boxing match, man. You got injuries, you have people who have fights with their girlfriends before the fight. Like all kind of shit is going on in the background.
Mhm.
So if you think about it, you just look at all the great fights all the trilogy fights. It's very rarely where you had two really good fighters fight each other and the same thing happened back to back, right? So the other point I want to make is Regis has never fought anyone like Haney, and Haney hasn't fought anyone like Regis. So you could throw momentum out the door, man. I'm pretty sure like this fight right here, it's about who's better that night.
Okay, okay. Question three. Question three here, guys. Dinamita,
Yeah.
Haney, ¿qué es lo que hace mejor Haney? Tú sabes, Haney, tú lo miras, ¿qué es lo que hace mejor? What does he do the best? ¿Y qué tiene que hacer Haney para ganar esa noche contra Regis? Igual te voy a preguntar de Regis, ¿qué es lo que hace bien Regis? ¿Y qué tiene que hacer Regis para ganar esa noche?
So I mean, Haney, I mean, we all know Haney has a really good jab. He boxes very well from the outside. He's able to keep the distance, and that would ultimately be the best game plan that he could do is stay on the outside and not try to engage with him as much. Just kind of keep it on the outside and then fight like he fought when he fought Cambosos the first time. You know, like he fought Linares when he just stayed on the outside. And I think with Regis is to, I mean, just fucking, I would say like Texas it out in a sense of like, I know Texas it out as in a sense of make him fight,
Mm-hmm.
make him fight. Like don't let him box on you. Don't let him try to get his groove. Make him fight and make it rough, tough, and everything. I think that Devin Haney, man. I mean, from just looking at him fight before, the guy can fight. The kid can fight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He can fight, but there hasn't been somebody that actually like puts fucking like basically dogs him. Like
Right.
there hasn't been somebody who dogs him. You had Linares. That Linares, good fighter, man, but he was already over the hill. Sucks to say, but he was
Mm-hmm.
already over there, and he hurt him. So you get a
Yeah.
guy like Regis who's still in the prime of his career, and you get a guy like Regis who can punch. You better not get caught, because Regis is a dog. Like Regis, if he senses he's gonna hurt, if he hurts you, he's gonna try to end you. So, like I said, one is use the jab, and the other one is to get in. It's as simple as that. Two different game plans, but that's how I think that's how the fight's gonna be.
Pinche dinamita inspira para pelear ahorita, ¿verdad, güey? Hasta se oye la pinche canciones de Rocky atrás de él, cabrón.
Yeah.
No, Noyola, pues dime, Haney, ¿qué es lo que hace bien? ¿Qué tiene que hacer para ganar Haney? Mira, y ya sé que estás en el campamento con Regis, no nos digas nada de lo que está trabajando él y todo, pero en tu opinión, ¿verdad? Ya sé que ustedes, you want to keep everything secreto ahí, pero en tu opinión, ¿qué tiene que hacer Regis para ganar y qué es lo que hace Regis bien también?
Mira, yo pienso que Haney, como dice el muchacho, es muy inteligente, es muy bueno para boxear afuera. Entonces, es lo que tiene él en todas sus peleas que he visto. Sí, tiene mucha inteligencia. En cambio, por otra parte, Regis siento que pega durísimo el güey. Entonces, es muy fuerte. Entonces, como dice él, Regis tiene que ir si le pega y tiene que acabarlo en ese momento, porque tiene que aprovechar. Y Haney tiene que ser bien inteligente para la defensa, porque si lo lastima Regis, sí va a ser un problema duro, porque te digo, Regis es muy fuerte, yo lo he visto entrenar.
Pues me imagino que lo he sentido también, ¿verdad, güey?
Claro, entonces yo creo que tiene que tener mucho cuidado Haney en eso de la defensa, en boxearle por afuera, trabajarlo afuera, para que no tenga ningún problema, se la lleve más fácil, porque si Regis sí se mete por adentro, ahí sí va a estar duro, va a estar duro, y si se mete y empieza a dar pelea adentro, va a ser una muy buena pelea, vas a ver.
David, la misma pregunta, David.
Oh, and I agree with everything they said, man. It's that classic matchup, right, of the boxer versus puncher, and it just makes for a really good fight when you have the two styles against each other. One thing that I want to keep my eye on is how Haney looks at 140. Typically, when he's in those hard fights, he looks like he gets kind of tired towards the end of the fight, right? He kind of wilts a little bit. I wonder if that's going to be the same thing. Are we going to see that? Because Regis is going to bring pressure throughout the whole fight. So will Haney wilt under that pressure late in the fight, or will he be fresher because he doesn't have to cut that much weight anymore? One other thing is Regis is really awkward. I don't know if people really pay attention. He has an awkward style, man, and he's not that easy to kind of predict. So again, the punches that you don't see are the ones that hurt you the most. And Regis already can hurt you with his power. And if he's able to catch you with a shot that you don't see, makes it even worse, right? Amplifies it. So definitely want to see, is Haney able to use his feet, and can he do that with a little bit of movement for the whole 12 rounds? Oh, one other thing, man, that I also think is going to be interesting is, will Haney choose to do the jab and grab? Is he going to try to use clinching in order to nullify Regis's coming forward? He's done that before.
now that you say that, but even
Go
at
ahead,
that, man,
Dinamita. Go ahead.
like my boy says that, like that job and grab, man. But I think Regis. The thing
It
about
won't
Regis,
matter.
man, like I said, bro, he's a dog, bro. So as soon as he starts seeing that, I feel like Regis is gonna throw him. He's gonna fucking throw him to the floor. He's gonna like push him off of him, use his elbow. Like at those level, those fights, that level of fighting, man, like all that shit matters. Like Regis is gonna, like I said, he's gonna hit him in the hip, hit him in the arm, push
Arms,
him back,
yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah,
Like because again, like if you jab and grab, that's one thing. But with like I said, with the guy like the guy at that level who's fought at that level, they're gonna do that. They're gonna hit you in the hip bone. They're gonna hit you in the leg. They're gonna hit you
yeah.
all
Sí.
everywhere. So that's what that's a good one. That is honestly that's a good one. I didn't see it that way, but like I still don't think like I
It
said
still
that
might
was
not work for him, right?
yeah. I don't think it
It
might
still
work
might not
for
work.
him because
¿Tú
Regis
qué
is gonna
crees,
do that.
Esteban? Esteban, ¿tú qué crees? ¿Le podría ayudar esa técnica de tirar un jab y de volar agarrarlo, Haney? ¿O no le va a ayudar
Pues,
para nada ese
puede que
estilo?
al principio, pero siento que Regis es que como dices tú, su estilo es medio raro de Regis. Entonces, puede que al principio sí medio lo sorprenda con eso de llave, agarrarlo, pero Regis no creo que se deje. Como dice, y hasta así lo tenga que tirar a la lona, yo creo que lo
Mhm.
puedo hacer. Entonces,
Y
Bueno,
la cosa, yeah.
And Regis trains in MMA too, right? Like he does other shit, so he knows how to kind of move around and wrestle with you too. He's not, he knows how to strike, but he
Yeah.
knows some other shit too. Like
I mean, that I couldn't really tell you, but like I said, I feel like Regis, as soon as he starts seeing that jab and grab, man, he's gonna fucking throw him to the ground. He's gonna push him back. He's gonna use his elbow to put in his face, all that. Put the glove in his face, all that stuff. I think he's gonna do that. That'd be a good plan for him, man. Because then you can't, as a ref, you gotta be fair. You can't
right.
be like, oh nah, you're doing that. Hey, every time he jabs me, he holds me. So I think
yeah.
as a ref, there has
He's
to be a
running he's
fine
running
line.
into my elbow.
Exactly. He's running into my elbow. Well, no, he's not. Well, he's fucking holding me every single time, so he's running into my elbow. It's about boxing. It ain't about hugging and shit. So
yeah.
so it's like we're saying. I think it's a fine line. That's a good
Y
one. That
pues ya llegamos al momento, ¿qué es, pues la pregunta, ¿verdad? ¿Quién pensamos que, mira, les voy a preguntar a todos, ¿quién va a ganar, en qué round y cómo? Voy a comenzar con David.
Oh man, you gave me the tough one. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll say Regis, man. I'm gonna go with Regis. I initially thought this would be Regis by stoppage. The more I think about it, I think Haney should be stronger, man. He's complained about making 135 for a while. He looks bad on the scales. I think the extra 5 pounds will help him survive this fight. But I think he'll get dropped a couple of times. I say Regis by decision.
Just by decision, okay? And we'll go ahead and go with um, Dinamita from San Antonio, Texas. What is your prediction?
I'm going with Regis as well, man. I think he has the power and he has the skill. He has the weight. I think he's even at that, man. I think he's fought for example, like Lomachenko, right? Lomachenko beat Devin Haney. That's all, it is what it is, right? I mean, he beat
Yeah,
him.
word. See, Mark?
And I think
I'm in,
I think that Devin Haney, man, I think, like you said, oh, he might be stronger. But bro, if you don't have a chin, you don't have a chin. It don't matter what weight you at. It don't matter what weight you at. You could be at 100, 200 pounds. If you don't have a chin, you don't have it. And I think that Devin Haney doesn't have a chin, man. And I think Regis, if he were to catch him, let's say, like my boy said, he might drop him a couple times. Nah, I think if Regis drops you, he's
Killer
gonna
instinct,
end
right?
you. He's gonna
Yeah.
end you. His instinct is gonna come in and he's gonna finish you. So I think Regis by stoppage, could be knockout, could be stoppage, but I think he's gonna pull it out. Like I said, I don't see the fight going into a decision. And if it goes to a decision, it would be I think it would be a Devin Haney decision simply because it's the money's there. But I
Oh, and
think
it's
I
his
think I think
hometown. Yeah.
yeah, I
so
think
you, so
Regis
you,
Regis stops him. If Regis,
Regis
like I
stops
said,
him?
I'm favoring Regis stopping him, right? But if it goes to decision, it's gonna suck because it's his hometown and shit, and so they're more
It
likely to
is
give
his
it to
hometown.
Devin Haney. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first fight they've had in San Francisco. This is the first world title match in 10 years.
Yeah. So like I said, I think
Yeah.
it's like one of those answers, man. That it's like I'm not trying to save myself. I'm a Regis
Yeah.
Prograis fan,
Yeah.
but I think if Regis don't knock him out or like homie said, like knock him down at least 4 fucking times, then it's gonna be hard to see him get a decision
You
over
know
there.
what, man? I now that you say that, the tickets for this fight are selling really well too. Like Haney's proving to be a ticket seller right now.
Yeah.
Regis isn't a ticket seller. Unfortunately, he's not at that level where he's selling out stadiums. They're predicting like they're gonna get a really good crowd at this show. So
Yeah, and money talks,
Yeah.
bro.
money
Money in
talks.
boxing is powerful, bro. Money talks. It ain't about how big you.
Noyola. Noyola, ¿qué dice usted? ¿Quién va a ganar? ¿En qué round? ¿No caro? Porque
Por la pregunta, soy Regis
hasta le preguntas necia, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
yo creo que Regis y espero que por nocaut. Porque como te
Okay.
digo, Regis tiene buena condición, está muy fuerte, entonces siento que Haney lo puede mover un poco con su boxeo y todo, siendo inteligente, pero donde Regis le meta un buen derechazo, un buen golpe, ahí como que siento que lo va a tirar.
Oye, ¿y en qué round o qué piensas? ¿Knockout o
Yo siento que como en el 6-7.
en el 6-7?
6-7, sí, porque al principio Haney va a estar ahí boxeándolo todo, entonces por ahí del 6, en el 7, 8, por ahí en esos rounds, pero porque te digo, yo siento que Haney está muy fuerte, entonces sí, siento que un knockout,
No.
o por lo que lo pare o algo, pero por ahí no llega ni al 10.
Ok,
Oh,
ok.
wow.
Bueno, pues gracias a los dos. Quédense con nosotros un momentito, nomás para despedirlos bien. Noyola, ¿qué oyes de Márquez? Tiene una pelea ya en diciembre. A nosotros nos invitaron, a mí, a David.
Ok, ahí. Es una semana antes de mi pelea y
Sí.
ahorita yo creo que ya en estos días no tarda también en ir para allá, para Main Street, para esparrear con él.
Sí, para ponerlo. ¿Y cómo se mira Márquez?
Ahorita no lo he visto, te digo, no he ido al gimnasio, ya tiene, desde la otra pelea que tuvo, no he esparreado con él, entonces yo creo que ya en estos días ya va por ahí a darse una vuelta y esparrear con él.
Oh, pues hoy nos avisaron que vamos a estar ahí hoy, David, con The Zone. We're going to be media for The Zone with Márquez.
Okay.
No sé si David, todavía ni le digo a David. Márquez me mandó
Breaking news.
Dinamita, thank you very much. What do you got going on? Next, what do you got going on?
Right now, man, I don't know yet. We're trying to figure that out. Right now it's one of those things where it's trying to capitalize on
that
my
big
last
knockout
fight.
on Showtime, yeah.
Yeah, man. It just sucks because I was like pumped because I was like, okay, Showtime's gonna want me back, and then Showtime comes out with, hey, we're actually closing Showtime down, and so it's like it's one of those things where it's like, fuck, it kind of sucks that.
So that was your last performance on Showtime.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
it has to be, man. They're not coming back, bro.
So,
well, it was a hell of a goodbye, man. It was a hell of a goodbye.
Yeah, right.
My name is gonna be in the history books, bro. Like whether it be winning a world title, or whether it be not winning a world title, because I was the last guy in the history of Showbox and Showtime to fight on that platform.
Yeah.
Like at least on Showbox, as a matter of fact.
Showbox, yeah.
Showtime.
And that was a good show, man. I really like Showbox. I love that fucking show.
No, pues chingado. No, gracias a los dos, de veras, muchas gracias a los dos, y aquí estamos apoyándolo los dos. Ojalá que los dos nos traen títulos mundiales a Texas. Aquí estamos con ustedes, apoyándolos, y fue un honor que nos visitaron. Muchas gracias a los dos, de veras. Ya sé que están bien ocupados los dos. De veras, muchas gracias.
No, gracias a ustedes por invitarnos y hacernos parte de estas entrevistas. Muchas gracias.
No, sí, ojalá lo podemos hacer otro día, los cuatro. Me gustó mucho el ambiente. Gracias. Hasta luego. Buenas noches.
Buenas
Y'all
noches.
be careful, man. We'll see you guys. God bless.
Nos vemos.
All right, take it easy.